Have you ever faced a giant in your life? A problem so big, so intimidating that everyone told you to just run away? Today we're going to talk about a young boy who did the exact opposite. Our story begins in the ancient valley of Elah. On one side, the army of Israel stood, their hearts filled with fear. On the other, the mighty Philistine army, confident and menacing. For 40 days, a shadow had fallen over the Israelites, a shadow cast by one man, a giant named Goliath. He was a fearsome warrior over 9 feet tall, clad in heavy bronze armor. His spear was as thick as a weaver's beam, and his voice boomed across the valley like thunder. Every morning and every evening, Goliath would stride out and shout a challenge. "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." The soldiers of Israel, even their brave King Saul, could only tremble. No one dared to face him. Far from the battlefield, in the quiet town of Bethlehem, a young shepherd boy named David was tending his father's sheep. David wasn't a soldier. He was the youngest of 8 sons, known more for his skill with a harp than a sword. His father, Jesse, called for him one day. "Take this grain and these 10 loaves of bread for your brothers," he said, "and see how they are doing in the army." So David set off for the camp. When he arrived, he heard the shouting and the commotion. He saw the ranks of soldiers, and then he saw him, the giant, Goliath, stepping forward to shout his daily taunts, mocking Israel and their God. David watched as all the brave soldiers ran away in terror. But David didn't feel fear. He turned to a nearby soldier and asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His older brother, Eliab, overheard him and was angry. "With whom did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." But David wasn't deterred. His words reached King Saul, who sent for the young shepherd. When David stood before the king, he said with unwavering confidence, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul looked at the young boy, barely a man, and said, "You are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." This is where we see the heart of David. He didn't boast of his own strength. Instead, he shared his testimony. "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep," David explained. "When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul, moved by David's incredible faith, finally agreed, "Go, and the Lord be with you." He tried to dress David in his own tunic, putting a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. But David was not used to them. He took a few steps and said, "I cannot go in these, because I am not used to them." So he took them off. Dead David took what he knew. He took his shepherd's staff in his hand and walked down to the stream. There he chose 5 smooth stones and placed them in the pouch of his shepherd's bag. With his sling in his hand, he walked out to face the giant. When Goliath saw David, he laughed with contempt. "Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks?" he roared. "Come here and I'll give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." David's reply wasn't a boast, but a declaration of faith that echoes through the ages. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves. For the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." With those words, the confrontation began. As Goliath moved closer, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag, he took out a stone. He placed it in a sling, and with all his might, he slung it. The stone sailed through the air and struck the Philistine right on the forehead. It sank into his forehead, and the giant fell face down on the ground. Silence fell over the valley, then a gasp of disbelief. The shepherd boy had done the impossible. David had defeated the giant not with armor or a sword, but with a simple stone and an unshakable faith in God. When the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they turned and ran, and the Israelite army roared to life, chasing them down in a great victory. The story of David and Goliath is more than just a tale of an underdog winning. It's a powerful reminder that the size of our giants doesn't matter when we know the size of our God. David didn't focus on Goliath's strength. He focused on God's power. He used the simple tools he had and trusted God to do the rest. What giants are you facing today? Maybe it's a challenge at work, a personal struggle, or a fear that feels just as tall as Goliath. Remember, David, you don't need to have all the strength or all the answers. You just need to have faith and be willing to step onto the battlefield, trusting that the battle is not yours alone. It belongs to the Lord. Your 5 smooth stones might be your unique skills, your words of kindness, or your persistent prayers. Use what you have and trust God with the outcome. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If it inspired you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that build faith and inspire courage. We'll see you in the next video.